everybody. I feel like it's been such a minute since I've done a sit down video, so I'm so excited to be doing this with y'all. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Jacqueline Marie, if you don't know me already, and I'm literally just so thankful that you're here today. It's gonna be a super fun time. We're gonna have a little girl talk action. School literally like just right around the corner. I start next week, and I know a lot of y'all have already started. I thought it'd be fun to just give some like high school advice since I'm a senior now. Just kind of talk about my experience with high school, stuff I've learned, and like advice I'd give to like freshmen and stuff. And this doesn't have to be just if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, even a senior, whatever. Just talking about life. But yeah, so I kind of split this up into 3 different categories. So we have relationships, then we have friends, and then we have like faith, kind of living out life as a believer in high school. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. So first, I figured we'd talk about like relationships, boys, all that fun stuff. So the first question I have is it wise to date in high school? And if you've listened to the podcast, you know I've kind of talked about dating and stuff younger, and I honestly think it comes down to your maturity level. What are your intentions? Like, what do you want to get out of this? I think if you're going into a relationship and you're like, oh, I just want to date for fun and I just want to like all this stuff, like I think you can learn so much from dating, and I think that it's not the worst thing you could ever do, but I think you also have to be very careful because things can happen. And yeah, so I think it just depends on your maturity level and your intentions going into that. Like, are you here just to be here for fun, or do you want to like marry this person, you know, like something like that, just to think about. Like, and yeah, but I will say I have learned so much in my dating experience in high school. I feel like that sounds so stupid, but I try to have no regrets. So there's things I definitely wish I hadn't done, but I feel like you can learn from every single circumstance, and there's a reason everything happens. So I think you can definitely learn from dating in high school, but like I said before, it all comes down to you, what you want, what you're looking for, all that stuff. The next question is, what if my crush or whatever is older than me? So like a sophomore, junior, whatever. I think my rule that I followed in high school is like the 1 year difference. So if you're a freshman, you can date sophomores. If you're a sophomore, you can date freshmen or juniors. I think if you're a freshman dating a junior, it's a little weird. It's a little weird, I will say. Just in high school, like it's so weird. You get out of high school and literally nobody cares. But that's okay. Next is, how do I deal with rumors or drama about my relationship? So I will say, rumors, drama, definitely a thing that will happen in high school. That was something that, oh my gosh, I dealt with so many rumors throughout my high school career. I say that like I've graduated, but it's fine. Anyways, I think a rumor definitely affected one relationship of mine, but literally I think the way you deal with it is if you hear something from somebody like, oh, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever is talking about saying this, they did this, yada, 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 you should go to them, talk it out with them, and like figure it out with them. Don't like hear that, oh, they did this, blah blah blah, they're saying this, and just like end it out of nowhere without even talking to that person. Because I just literally, like, communication is the best thing that you can have in a relationship, and that's something I learned is like literally, like I'm also a very blunt person. Like that's what I like I like people to be really really blunt with me. So I think just being like, yo, like I heard this, is this true, what's happening, and just literally have such an honest conversation. It like, how do I want to word this? It just creates like a lot more trust, I feel like. But that's also just me, you know, and I know people can be more sensitive or something like that. So literally just talk it out with your partner and figure it out. I have full faith in each and every one of you. Next is, when is it a good time to have my first kiss? I feel like this is something like a lot of like this stuff is pushed on everybody during high school. Like I remember I saw a TikTok. don't remember exactly what it was, but it was basically like you can pretty much do whatever and you're gonna get like called a name. Like you can kiss a bunch of people and you'll be called a not nice name, or like you won't do anything and people will still make fun of you, or you drink a bunch and like you're this awful person, or you drink at like nothing and then you're lame. So like literally I feel like there is like you just can't win ever. But I will say I didn't have mine till like I was a sophomore, so like technically a little later. And I literally think it is just up to you. Like I got made fun of quite a bit for not having mine, but it's literally nobody's business. And you're gonna like kiss somebody and you're gonna realize like actually it's not that big of a deal. Like it's literally fine, and it's up to you. Like make it special. Don't just kiss somebody just to like kiss somebody and get your first kiss out of the way. Like I think like that is a really like it's a I know I just said it wasn't a big deal, but like it is a big deal. But it's not like this giant deal that everyone needs to make fun of you about. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Anyways, so I think just wait and like it'll be fine. Like who cares? Literally, who cares? Why do people care so much? Like that's weird. If they're like you have to go kiss somebody or you have to go lose your virginity, like that's weird. They are fake and don't be friends with them. And that's what I have to say on this topic. I will say too, like another question I got is like, is your first kiss awkward? Like all this stuff. And I think it is. It's always going to be a little awkward because you don't know what you're doing. And that's okay. But like, I think as long as it's with the right person, they shouldn't care. And if they do, ew, that's disgusting. And I don't approve. Ew. Anyways, so yeah. The next question is, what are some big red flags in a relationship? Yes, this is a great question. I would say if they're on and off. Like if a guy likes you, oh my gosh, he will not leave you alone. He will make it so clear. So if a guy is being on and off, and it's like, I saw this quote on Pinterest, and it was like, it's like when you're taking a shower sometimes, you know, and you'll have like, you know, because, how do I want to word this? It's like, there'll be like a lot of water pressure. It'll be really, really warm. But then if another person takes a shower while you're taking a shower, the water pressure and like the warmth of the shower is going to change. Because now there's like another person. Does that make sense? So like basically what they mean by that is like, that's like with like your partner. If it goes cold, that means there's something else. Like there's another person basically. And I honestly agree with that. But it can also be like other things. And that's where something like if this person is really on and off, literally I say talk about it with them. And you will freaking know if a guy is into you. Like, if you have to sit there and ask them, like, what are we? Like, what's going on? I hate to break it to you, and I'm going to hold your hand when I say this, but they're probably not that into you. But that's okay, because that means that they're not your person, and you can walk away and go find a man who really loves you. Stand on business. Have some self-respect in the most loving way possible. Okay, next I think another red flag is if they won't plan dates or like hang out with you. They should be planning dates. They should be planning hangouts. They should be holding your door. They should be buying you stuff, or like not buying you stuff, but like paying for stuff. Like they should be a gentleman. Okay, hi, it's me editing Jacqueline, but I literally didn't say this in the video, but I think it's so important. Like, another point to like if they're not planning dates, if they can't plan dates, they can't plan a future. I'm gonna say this again. If they can't plan dates, they can't plan a future with you. Clocked. I think if they make you like, another red flag is if they like make you like put in all the effort. Like I had this happen to me one time, and it was like literally like I had to do everything and they would do nothing. But like I don't know, it was just weird. But like, I think literally, like, if you're having to like text first and initiate everything, like, you should not be doing that. It should be 50-50. So just be wary of that. And then I would also say, if people, your family, your friends are telling you, hey, I don't like this person, oh my gosh, please listen. I'm begging you, please listen. Because your friends, your parents, your whoever sees things that you don't. Like, you have these little like blinders on. If your mom is telling you she doesn't like this man, drop him. Get out of there, run. No. Anyways, I think those are my red flags. If you want me to do like a part 2 or anything, like going more into detail, I totally can. But yeah, so that's on relationships. Next topic is gonna be friends. I feel like friends in high school, they're probably the most challenging thing ever, because there's just a lot of factors. There are so many factors, and I think finding good friends is probably one of the hardest things to do. And I think once you find real friends, like, that is like the most precious thing you can find. You know, I really do. So yeah, let's jump into it. First question is it normal to feel lonely at first? Let me tell you, my freshman year, that was probably the most lonely I've ever felt. Like, I was so lonely, and I was like, my friend group, like, also another thing is, if you have like this big friend group, and again, like, this doesn't always happen, but I've seen it happen a lot, is your friend group just splits. Everyone's gonna go explore, gonna go find and hang out with new people, and it's just hard, you know? So I think going into high school being like, okay, there's gonna be a lot of change, just I think would be really helpful. But like, it is so totally normal to feel lonely, and I hope you know you're not alone in that, and other people are feeling lonely too. So I don't want you to feel like weird or anything like that, because it is normal, and there are other people that are feeling the same thing as you. Next is, how do I avoid drama in friend groups? And honestly, I think this comes down to finding good friends, picking out the good ones and tossing the bad, you know, because you will know if your friend is like secretly against you, because oh my gosh, they made that so clear. Like, find these just wonderful, amazing friends. Like, and I think, well, you're probably wondering, like, Jacqueline, well, what makes a good friend? How I find these amazing, wonderful people? And I think it's literally just like, it's just gonna take time. Like, I don't think you can look at someone and be like, oh, they're a good friend. But I think it's just like looking for patterns and being like, okay, like, a big thing, and I think this is like one of the biggest things to know if this person is good for you or a good friend, is, do you feel energized after hanging out with them? Like, do you come back from hanging out with them and you're like, wow, that was just wonderful, and I feel so full, I feel so full of life? Or are you coming back and you're like drained and you're just like, wow, like, that was awful, and like they're making fun of you all the time? Like, another thing, like, it too, like, oh my gosh, I cannot talk. Okay, I think another big thing is, like, if they just make a little comments, like, make you feel bad about yourself, like something about like your outfit or your hair, like, that is not your friend. That is, oh my gosh, that is fake. That girl is coming at you. They're gonna destroy you eventually. So, you know, I think just like, and following your gut, like, your gut always knows. If you have a bad feeling, then trust that. It may not make sense, or it might not make sense, but will eventually. Next question is, what is the best way to cut off a friend? And I think cutting people off, and I think, okay, my opinion on this is, I really am careful about who I block or just immediately cut off. I try to be cordial with people, but if it's getting to a point where I'm like, wow, okay, we're not getting anywhere, and this is just, yeah, then I think you should block them. But I think just straight off the bat, like, just cutting people off, unadding them, you know, and sometimes, like I said, I think there is a time and a place for this, but I think you should try to talk it out with that person. Be like, okay, this happened between us, this really hurt me, let's talk it out. And it should be, again, like this 50-50 thing where they're like, yeah, I'm sorry I hurt you, I will try not to do that again. And being like, just like literally talking it out. And again, same goes for you. If you hurt this person, because we're sinful people. We are going to hurt people. Being like, hey, yeah, I'm so sorry. Take accountability for your actions. Oh my gosh, if that is something that it, hold on. I want to be able to talk, but I can't. Like, the one thing that has changed my life is like taking accountability for your actions. Do it. Literally, like, it is shut down so much. Because I remember, like, I was in an argument with somebody and I just, like, took accountability. I was like, yeah, I did that and I'm sorry. And they're like, no, actually, you're okay. And we were fine. So I literally think take accountability for your actions and just try to do your best to be mature and be the bigger person and, you know, like, love on them. And I think, and if they are still mean to you after, like, all this stuff, then I think that's where you're like, okay, I'm going to take a step back. This isn't good for me. I'm done. Lastly is how to tell if somebody is not a good friend. And I kind of went into detail about this, but basically, like, do they make you feel good about yourself? Do they hype you up? Do you feel happy? Do you feel excited when you get to hang out with them? Do you like talking to them? Like, stuff like that, you know, and you will know if somebody is preying on your downfall. Like, they make it so clear. The last section is just, like, living out faith in high school. So my story, a quick little backstory, my story with my faith in Jesus and everything is I wasn't a believer for like the first 2-ish years of high school. I grew up Christian, and then I basically was like, actually, this is stupid, because I had a really, really bad experience with Christians and church and all this stuff. So basically, I pieced out for like a few years, and then I had this amazing encounter with Jesus again, and I came back to faith. That happened like, I think it was the summer between freshman and sophomore year. My sophomore year, I was very much still living for the world, and that is something I can go into detail later, but it was, yeah, so that's my story with faith and stuff. I love Jesus now, and I am trying my best to live out my life in the most godly way, and just like, literally, like, Jesus has just miraculously changed my life. And the fact that I'm sitting here posting on YouTube and I have a podcast where I talk about Jesus and stuff is like literally insane to me. With that being said, like, I still am a very new believer. I don't know a lot of things. I don't claim to know a lot of things, but this is just kind of my experience and what has helped me as a high schooler who is a believer. One thing that I really, really struggled with, and if that's actually what brought me the most away from faith, is people would make jokes, make fun of me about being a believer. So it's like, how do you respond when people make jokes about you and your faith? And I will say, people are going to judge you no matter what. You could literally like do anything and somebody is going to disagree with you. And I think, like, because I really, really struggled with this for so long, but like now I think I've just experienced the goodness of God, and I'm like, and I also was at that place, so I get why people do it, you know, because they're just so hurt, they're so lost, and they're so full of hatred. And I remember always just being so mad that these people were so happy and I wasn't happy, you know, like, and they're like, I was just like always like, how can you love a God like like his people are these awful people? And something that I have to say about that is, like, it is not, his people are not God. Christians, I am a sinful person. Every single Christian I know is a sinful person. The only amazing and wonderful thing with Christianity is God, you know. And I don't want to be like, oh, I hate Christians, but like, I think the thing we have to remember is we are people. People are not God. God is God. So unfortunately, the reality is Christians are going to hurt you, and it sucks, but it's gonna happen because we're people, you know. So I think just remembering like the goodness of God and being like, okay, like, Jesus was persecuted. He was like the most perfect person ever, literally did nothing wrong, and he was like persecuted. He got killed on a cross. Like, if that says anything, and there's all these warnings in the Bible of like how, like, since we love him, like, what is it? Hold on, let me look up the verse. Okay, I looked it up, and it's John 15, 8 18 through 19. But it's like, if the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first. So I just keep that in mind. But like, what I always come back to is like, I am so much happier as a believer. Like, I have purpose, I feel full, like, and like, honestly, like, Jesus is my best friend. So like, honestly, people can hate on me because I have Jesus. So, and like, also, like, Jesus sees that. Jesus sees your pain, and he will literally, like, he sees you, he feels your pain, like, and he's there to comfort you, and you will be redeemed. Like, I know there's a verse that talks about, like, be glad if you're persecuted on here, because there will be many treasures in heaven, you know, and storing up treasures in heaven and not here. And I think it's just so worth it, even though it's hard. And I wish there was an easier answer, but it's just gonna be hard, you know? Like, the Lord never said it would be easy. He said it'd be hard, but you'd be so joyful during it, you know? And I think there's so much truth to that. So I hope that made sense. But yeah, moving on to the next question is, how do I talk about my faith without sounding preachy? So, I know some people will disagree with this. How I personally like to do this, I don't love evangelism. I just, going up to a random stranger and being like, yo, Jesus loves you, that is terrifying to me. And I just feel like that is not one of my giftings. But I know people who are wonderful at it, and we are called to evangelize, and I think it is a wonderful thing that people do. Anyways, me personally, how I like to do it, especially in a high school setting, because I feel like if you just sit out and you're like, yo, Jesus, like, blah, 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 which is great, but like, I feel like, and I'm also speaking from personal experience, because I was like evangelized too, and it literally made me like run farther away from God. So, I think getting to know somebody, you know, and just like, because eventually, like, I remember I had a conversation with this one girl, and we were just talking, and we're talking about some certain subject, and I got to bring up like my testimony, and then we had a whole conversation about God, and then she like wanted to come to church with me, and I was like, awesome, and I was like, Jesus, you're so cool. So yeah, it's just like, I think that is also a very powerful way, you know, and yeah, and I think honestly, just pray about it. Be like, Lord, how can I have these conversations with these people, and how can I make them feel loved? How can I show your word? And I feel like another big thing is just through your actions, being kind when others hate you, not talking bad about people. And I think that is so challenging. It's so challenging, and it's something I'm really guilty of, but like, I think that's like the biggest way you can do it, is just standing out in like a good way, like being different from the crowd in a good way. People are gonna notice that, and they're gonna be like, yo, I don't know what is with this chick, but she's always so happy, and she's always so fun to be around, and she just has this like, there's just something different about her, you know. And I think it's a definite thing, like, coming from my experience, like, I remember I've talked to some of these really, really strong believers, and it was just, something was so different about them, like, they were so happy, and I don't know, it was just like, people can tell. So like, don't think like you're doing it all in vain. People can tell, and I think it's such a beautiful and wonderful thing. So next question is, what if my faith makes me feel left out sometimes? It's gonna happen, but I feel like you're gonna feel left out anyway, like, and I think it's just like a price that you have to pay, you know. And I think just bringing it to God and being like, yo, that really hurt, that really sucked, and just like talking out with God, you know. Those are pretty much all the questions, all the topics. Let me know if you want me to do a part 2. I literally love filming these videos, and I know I've been slacking so hard on all my videos, but I've literally been like so busy, so I'm so sorry. That's not an excuse. I am literally editing so many videos. I think I have like one video just came out today this is like gonna be a few weeks from now, but I just posted a video is gonna be coming out the week after, and then this video. So yeah, let me know what videos you guys want me to film, Give me some ideas. I love hearing from y'all. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.